And just like that, the first month of the new year is about to disappear in history. It's Friday, the last day of January 2020, and I'm so happy you could join us. Coming up on today's show, we give you a taste of the talent that exists at the Herbert Morrison Technical High School in Montego Bay, followed by the Salvation Army's steps to mold outstanding men and women of tomorrow. These and more await you after this break.
Mosquitoes will breed in containers that hold water. Tightly cover water storage containers such as drums, buckets and tanks, or cover the water surface with cooking oil. Punch holes in all tins, plastic containers and boxes to prevent the collection of water before disposal. Cover old ties or fill with dirt. Scrub all vases once per week to remove mosquito eggs and dispose of garbage by placing in plastic bags. Do your part to prevent mosquito breeding. A message from the Ministry of Health.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Friday, January 31. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton is assuring the country that Jamaica is adequately prepared to deal with the threat of the novel coronavirus. The new strain of coronavirus, which was first reported in China, has now been declared a global health emergency by the World Health Organization. On Thursday, Dr. Tufton toured several of the island's health facilities and examined the systems in place, including an isolation area at the Chest Hospital in St. Andrew. It is a special purpose-built facility boasting several sections and equipment to treat individuals with respiratory issues. The minister also toured the isolation facility at the Norman Manley International Airport in Kingston. He also examined the airport's equipment to detect respiratory illnesses, such as thermal scanners, and met with the nurses and doctors deployed there.
I'm very comfortable that we have the personnel and we have the infrastructure, and I believe we're at no disadvantage here in Jamaica in terms of our public health infrastructure to scan, to monitor, and to deal with the threat that the coronavirus is posing now for the world.
The Ministry of National Security has advised that detainees at the Spanish Town Police Station lockup in St. Catherine have been relocated. The relocation follows reports of rodent infestation and overcrowding at the facility. In a statement on Thursday, the ministry said the Spanish Town lockup had been assessed by the relevant authorities and remedial works on the facility were expected to start next month. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang has also reaffirmed the government's commitment to improving all police facilities across the island. He points out that under Project Rock, government is investing in the redesign of police stations, making them customer-friendly and welcoming public spaces. So far, 24 stations have been completed, 19 are being renovated, and work will start on another 17 before the end of this financial year on March 31. Annual energy costs at the Bengal Pump Station in Rio Bueno, Trelawney will now be reduced by $3 million with the commissioning of a solar-powered system. The station, which serves the Braco Irrigation District, is the first pump facility operated by the National Irrigation Commission to be retrofitted with a large-scale solar energy photovoltaic system. The system is valued at $37.77 million. The installation included a 90-kilowatt grid-tied solar voltaic system which will self-generate 75% of the energy requirement of the pump station. Agriculture and Fisheries Minister Audley Shaw has lauded the National Irrigation Commission, NIC, for the project.
As part of the NIC's energy risk management strategy, several initiatives have been implemented to reduce energy use and associated costs. These include the replacement of inefficient motors and pumps to reduce energy waste.
He says the use of this renewable energy facility will help to reduce the energy cost to the government and lessen the NIC's footprint by 110 metric tons of carbon dioxide emissions annually. The NIC intends to replicate the project at 5 of its offices and pump stations across the island by March 2020. Still on agriculture, more than 841 acres of cocoa in St. Mary have been treated under the Frosty Pod Rot Management Program. The initiative has benefited approximately 300 farmers in the parish. St. Mary is considered to produce the most cocoa in the island with the finest flavor. The Frosty Pod Rot Management Program is part of government efforts to revive the cocoa industry and help affected farmers recover from the losses caused by frosty pod rot. Portfolio Minister Audley Shaw says the program has been reaping positive results.
There has been an increase in production yields in areas where management has been implemented in St. Mary. And the Frosty Pod Rot management team is now on the ground in Clarendon, which has a severe problem there as well.
He was addressing Wednesday's launch of the International Year of Plant Health at Hope Gardens in St. Andrew. Between 2004 and 2018, Jamaica's cocoa production averaged approximately 368 tons annually. But over the last 5 years, there has been an annual average of approximately 255 tons. Residents of St. Mary now have improved access to the services of the Transport Authority. This after the agency renovated its Northern Regional Office in Tower Isle at a cost of $19 million. The project involved work to the building's offices, filing and conference room, roof and parking lot.
We cannot continue to do business in the Transport Authority the same old way. We have to modernize the Transport Authority and the way we do business.
The Transport Minister was speaking at Wednesday's official opening of the Transport Authority's Northern Regional Office. The office is now able to facilitate a larger customer waiting area, larger inspectorate quarters, and a larger administrative and licensing area. And finally, Chief Executive Officer of the Jamaica Information Service, Donna Marie Rowe, is this year's recipient of the RJR Gleaner Honor Award for Public Service. Mrs. Rowe was commended for her inspiring leadership of the JIS and managing its transformation into a modernized government agency. While accepting the reward, Mrs. Rowe said that what the JIS stood for was important to her, and its mandate of disseminating information about government's policies and programs was taken seriously.
It's been quite a journey, and I really want to thank the RJR Gleaner Communications Group for this recognition, which I dedicate to my families, the JIS family and my Rowe family, and of course my extended family of my mom, brother and sister. Without them, I couldn't do this job.
Mrs. Rowe was speaking yesterday at the RJR Gleaner Honor Award ceremony. She was one of 4 recipients at the annual RJR Gleaner Communications Group 40th Honor Awards category luncheon. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
Children, and we have rights. We have a right to be protected,
provided for,
and included. Don't beat me up, don't belittle me, and please don't molest me.
I am under 13. I should not be working for a living.
That is child labor. It is illegal. Stop leaving me alone. I am too young to provide for myself. I need your guidance.
Protect our nation's children. They have rights too. To learn more about children's rights, call or visit the offices of the Child Development Agency.
Coming up next is everyone's favorite program in Jamaica Magazine, School Zone. This week we journey to Western Jamaica to witness the work of some innovative, intelligent, and impressive young minds.
All right, Anna Hugh, would you like to demonstrate how rains along a ridge? Excellent job, Anna Hugh.
This is the augmented reality sandbox created by the engineering club at the Herbert Morrison Technical High School. This is one of the 5 projects that will be shown in today's episode of School Zone. Stay tuned after the break for more.
School Zone, School Zone, School Zone, School Zone, School Zone, School Zone.
Welcome to another episode of School Zone. As you heard earlier, we're here at the Herbert Morrison Technical High School in St. James, where we're learning about a few projects by the engineering club. First up on the program is the AR Sandbox. And joining me is the geography teacher here, Mrs. Kincope, who will be telling us more about this.
The AR Sandbox is actually a technological tool that casts or projects virtual reality onto sand. So it is actually a simulation of topographical features that you can actually manipulate as you move the sand. It is one of the most student-centered tools we have at Herbert Morrison. Students can actually interact and move the sand, and at the same time they can learn and have fun. Before we get to the actual secret of how it operates, there are some things that I would like to show you in terms of how the tool is used. We usually have flat maps that we use. We call them ordnance survey maps. Those maps are two-dimensional. And students have limitations where those maps are concerned. Where the AR Sandbox is concerned, students can actually interact with the box and create the features that they would normally see on a two-dimensional map. That excites them, and that also enhances and complements the geography as a learning tool.
Really, it's really simple. It's only 3 main pieces of equipment. An infrared camera that we call the eyes, a projector, and a computer that compiles the information. So the camera judges the depth, which sends that information back to the computer. The computer processes this and sends it back to the projector, which shows you what you see here. And seeing as we use the computer, we can put different functions on. So different keys have different functions. For instance, the 1 key would introduce more liquid to the environment, while the 6 key would change the type of liquid. So we can change it from water to lava to green moss to snow, back to water.
So Ms. Clark, here we have the Herbie Go-Kart. It was a project that was started a couple of years back by other students of the engineering club, but wasn't finished because of financial strains that they had. So I and others finished the go-kart as best as possible. As you can see here, we have here the gas pedal, which accelerates the vehicle, the kart, when we apply pressure on the pedal. Then we have the brake pedal, which is used to apply friction to the wheels, which slows down the kart. Then we have the steering, which steers either left or right. Now around here, we have the engine. This is a Honda GX 120 6.5 horsepower engine, and this kart is a dead axle go-kart, which means that it is run by only 1 wheel. Over here we have the remote kill switch, which I programmed myself, which is used to turn off or turn on the kart from a remote distance. The kill switch is more like a safety device. As we're speaking about safety, here you can see we have our helmet, and safety always comes first. And I like to add that the main purpose of this go-kart is to help persons of the Herbert Morrison Technical High School to learn how to drive, so that when they leave high school they can have their driver's license.
Mr. Cook?
Hi, Ms. Clark.
Thank you for having me.
Hi, ma'am.
All right, so we're now at the buzzer system, and Mr. Cook, the president of the engineering club and teacher here, will be telling us more about this.
This buzzer circuit here is no necessarily special buzzer circuit, but it has an additional feature. It has a referee here, basically, which basically indicates who buzzed first. So if Team Red buzzed first, that signal is sent to this circuit board, which turns on the red light. When the red light is turned on, it prevents the blue light to turn on, whether or not the blue team is pressing. So, Ms. Clark, we're going to give you a practical demonstration of how these circuit boards work. Team Blue, ready? Yes, sir. Team Red, ready? Yes, sir. Listen for me carefully. What is the capital of St. James?
Montego
Obviously.
Bay.
Team Blue is up first. Team Blue.
Yes, sir. Montego Bay.
Montego Bay, York, and Montego Bay is correct. So we decided that we wanted to make a board, and make a board that is futuristic, an upgrade from what we had before. We also made it on a next basis. As a teacher, I wanted to have students to do activities, creative activities, because there are times when the activities is boring in their view. So I wanted students to get a feel of what it's like to be on School Challenge Quiz in my class without being on School Challenge Quiz.
Have you ever heard about 3D printing, sublimation printing, and laser engraving? If not, today's your lucky day. We have examples of all three that were produced by the Engineering Club, and we'll be joined by Conrad, who'll be showing us examples of these. Over to you, Conrad.
Okay, thank you. So here we have different products and items that were created in the laser engraver. So we have different keychains and necklaces, even little award plaques. These were all done in the laser engraver, which, as its name suggests, uses a laser to chip away at the materials put in, which is usually acrylic or Solitex. Here we have medals that were given out at Sports Day. These were put into the heat press, which is a sublimation machine, and it basically transfers the gas to a solid, which is displayed in the center. Here we have one of my favorite things, the edgelit lamp. Now these edgelit lamps are two parts. So the main part is the acrylic and the second part is the base. Now the acrylic is done in the laser engraver like all our acrylic pieces, and the bases, some of them are pre-owned, some of them were purchased, while some of them were created by our wonderful 3D printer. Now this 3D printer can do a marvel of things. It can create little keychains and trinkets, it can create full-blown machine parts, and it can even create functioning toy vehicles. What it does is it melts a small wire of filament and through a little spout takes its time and works its way up, printing from bottom to top. I'd like to add that these pins and keychains and trinkets that we make, we don't just keep them for ourselves, obviously. We sell them to the school at a discounted cost, and we sell them to other schools and institutions at lower costs.
Thanks again, Conrad. So we only have one more interesting project for you, and that's the virtual tour of the Herbert Morrison Technical High School. And our friend here, Anthony, will be taking you through that tour.
Today we are showing an interactive simulation of the school. It incorporates different things from different members of the engineering club. Today we have Kobe Jordan. He's our 3D modeler. He designs our characters. What he has here is the principal he's working on, the principal of our school, Mr. Adams. All right, we also have Marcus Cohen. He works on the full model of the school, all the details of the school. He went out and got pictures and measurements of the entire school and then recreated it in a 3D software. Then we have Kevon Lee, our texture. He takes the models and applies realistic looking materials to them to make it look as realistic as possible, having all the scratches and dents of the school. And I do the programming. It allows for the character movements. As you can see, you can walk around the 3D space as much as you want. You'll see the AI, like different students in the school walking around, going about their daily lives. The code allows them to move around the 3D space. After I get the models from KJ, our vice president and 3D modeler, you can see the school is to scale. As you can see, when you stand up, you are to scale to the school. So are the characters in the simulation. Here is the document center for our school. Down there, the area that we are looking is the visual arts area, and over there is the TD rooms. So you can see it's a fairly accurate model of the school.
Boy, it's so sad that we have to close the program for today, but I know you will all agree with me that we had a fulsome time here at Herbert Morrison Technical High School. But just before we close the program, we have a quick question we want to ask the president and founder of the 3-year engineering club. Why all of this? I've never seen anything like this. They're cut above the rest. Why?
As a teacher of electrical technology, I have seen a lot of talent in my years of teaching. I just think that it is my duty to help bring forth that talent.
Thank you so much, Mr. Cook, and all the best. I have great expectations for the club. And that's it. To have your school featured in School Zone, simply email me at sclark@gis.gov.jm. I'm looking forward to see your email. Until then, take care.
School zone, school zone, school zone, school zone, school zone, school zone, school zone.
I encourage the deaf children to have deaf pride, to know that they can. You are on the same level as a hearing person. It doesn't It doesn't matter that you can't hear. You have a lot of deaf adults who are successful, and you can achieve. You can get the education that you want, you can do anything that you want, you can achieve. Don't feel like you can't because you're deaf.
In believing that nothing is impossible, I have been able to culture a very positive attitude to life, and that positive attitude has worked for me, and I am confident it will work for others. I would want to say to persons with vision impairment and disabilities that it is critical that they become tooled or retooled with the appropriate technologies that can help to drive the way forward so that they can accomplish their vision and their goals.
Children with disabilities, whether you have CP or not, I strongly believe that you have a purpose. My disability has taught me that when it says the sky is the limit, it is. There are times when you're going to fall, but what is to stop you from rising?
The Salvation Army School for the Blind and Visually Impaired is the only institution of its kind in Jamaica. It uses numerous state-of-the-art teaching methods to empower blind and visually impaired students who enter its gate.
My name is Tashtika Sam, and I'm a prefect of the Salvation Army School for the Blind and Visually Impaired. I've been here since the age of 6.
Tashtika Sang is just one of the many visually impaired students that have been empowered at the Salvation Army School for the Blind and Visually Impaired. The school, which is located at 57 Mannings Hill Road, prides itself on giving birth to confident, successful, and independent young minds.
We have on roll approximately 135 students, ranging from 4 years to 21 years of age. They are from different parishes all over Jamaica, and living accommodation is also provided for them, for those who are outside of the corporate area.
The contraction for ING. Nobody remember the ING say? 3, 4, and 6. 3, 4, and 6. I'm done.
In addition to the normal curriculum, we do Braille. Braille, which helps the blind person to read and write. That is their mode of reading and writing. And we also have computer, which can help them also to communicate with the outside world. Mobility helps them to be more independent, to move about independently, instead of sitting down and waiting for other persons to take them to wherever they want to go. As long as they have the location, they know where they want to go, they can find their way around. So basically that is it. Yes, know how to behave when they are on the street, how to cross the street, yes, and what to look out for. And basically when they are out there, they have to depend a lot on their hearing.
In addition to equipping its current students with the requisite knowledge and life skills, the school also offers support to past students.
At the school here, we do employ some past students who have done extremely well in different areas, and they have come back here to work. We believe in getting them to work because they themselves can be motivators for the present students.
I am Sashana, and I came to the school in 1991, and today I assist with teaching the JAWS program. Now, the JAWS program is an acronym for Job Access with Speech, and this program allows blind and low vision persons to use the assistive technology to do everyday tasks such as writing, surfing the internet, and reading books.
Document 1 Microsoft Word. Microsoft Word document edit multi-line. Page 1 section 1 blank. K-O-F-1-F. Unlock up to 0 space. 19.
I spent my first 7 years of schooling here, from grade infants through to grade 6. Subsequently graduated, went to Calabar High School, spent 7 years there, went to the UE, where I completed both bachelor's and master's degree in social work. Now I'm here as the guidance counselor since the past 4 years. Every year the guidance counseling department organizes a fun day in commemoration of the National Children's Day. The event was planned so that they could enjoy themselves in a similar way to how persons of the general population would also enjoy their Children's Day.
Salvation Army School for the Blind, good afternoon. I have also gone through this marvelous institution, and I did all my subjects here and graduated from this institution, and I am now the receptionist of this organization. Now, a receptionist, you might ask, what do I do here? Well, basically, I answer and screen all the phone calls, and I also screen the visitors, and I also transcribe from Braille to print. Persons that have graduated from this institution would be in the high schools. Now, they would get homeworks. Now, how would the teacher, go about reading these homeworks, you might ask? This is where my job comes in. So they would write up what they're writing in Braille and bring their works back to me, and I would now transcribe them, send them by email or by print to the school for them to read.
SCCOR, University, and the ING.
And there's more. The school also has an outreach program that caters to the needs of blind and visually impaired students across Jamaica.
As part of our outreach program, we carry out vision screening in communities and in schools. This chart is utilized to show the different levels of vision the student might have. For example, at the top of the chart, if the student can only see this large E, then the student will have 20/22 vision. And that means that that child must be referred to an ophthalmologist, since we are not specialists. So we refer the child to the ophthalmologist, who then, if the child needs to come to school to the blind to attend school here, the ophthalmologist will refer the child.
And I'm wiser, I'm better, so much better. When I look back over all you brought me through.
What would we do without the teachers? They have been supportive. They've been our support systems away from our parents. I wouldn't be who I am today if it wasn't for the assistance and help of the Salvation Army School for the Blind, and I am so grateful for this opportunity.
I could have lost it all, but now I see how you were there for me.
Reggae Month starts tomorrow, February 1, and 29 days of diverse island-wide activities are in store. To keep abreast of these activities, which are being celebrated under the theme Come Catch the Rhythm, Jamaicans can now activate the new Reggae Month mobile app. The app also allows individuals and entities to promote their own Reggae Month activities. To download, all you have to do is search the words Reggae Month Jamaica in the Google Play or App Store. So what are you waiting for? Download away and make use of this innovative technology that is helping to make Jamaica a more informative place for all of us to live, work, raise our families, and of course, do business. And this is the final stop in today's magazine. Thanks so much for journeying with us. As we go, we implore you to stay connected via our website, jis.gov.jm, or our YouTube channel. And while you're online, send your feedback to Jamaica Magazine at jis.gov.jm or via our social media pages. On behalf of the entire production crew, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Walk good.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.